with me having just finished the Touhou 1cc challenge and officially playing every mainline Touhou game, I figured, you know what, it's time I make a tier list. Voice crack, my apologies. But yeah, I'm not gonna make just a normal tier list video like everybody does. What I'm gonna do this tier list video, obviously it's gonna be a bit of a lengthy video, however, you will want to watch all the way through because what I'm going to do with this video is I'm going to show a clip of gameplay for each mainline Touhou game from Touhou 1 to Touhou 20. Again, no spin-offs, because again, it's going to be purely mainline games. So, immediately after this video, you're going to get a little clip of Touhou 1, and then you're going to see how I rank Touhou 1, and then rinse and repeat until I get to Touhou 20. Again, this is going to be from Touhou 1 to 20, which is why it's going to be so long. But, yeah. It's going to be a lengthy video, so grab a drink, a snack, whatever, and enjoy this long video that I will be spending most likely all day on working. And yeah, gonna be a lot of work for me, but you know what, it's gonna be worth it. So let's go ahead and let's get started on Touhou 1, shall we? And before you say anything, yes, I am going to be reusing old footage of clips. That way I don't have to like record new footage and all that. Like, I've already got plenty of footage for the games mostly, so it's like I can just reuse clips from that and just, yep. That way it gives me a little less work to do, because that way I don't have to like record new footage, edit, rinse and repeat until the video's done. I can literally just get old footage, edit it together, and yeah. But yeah, anyways, again, let's get started with Touhou 1, shall we? Alright, so here we are in the tier list maker. You're gonna see that this tier list does include the spin-off games. However, again, I'm not including the spin-offs. It's only gonna be Touhou 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Only the mainline games, no spin-offs. So I'm going to be leaving those out. And you're going to see the ranking system. Obviously, whenever we save the image, the watermark's going to be in the top tier, so which is why it's S, why it's in S, why S tier is going to be empty. But I will be ranking this, doing this tier list, using the Sonic Adventure 2 ranking system. So A, best, then B, C, D, and E. For E's obviously worst. I'm using the Sonic Adventure 2 ranking system because that's how I want to do it. Yeah, again, Touhou 1, first game in the franchise. Zun wasn't sure exactly what he wanted to do with it yet, so he kind of made like a breakout clone, which, again, not bad. It's not a bad game. However, it's not amazing, but it's the first in the series, so we gotta give it some passes. However, again, while not a bad game, it's not amazing. So unfortunately, it is gonna have to go in E tier because it's just one of those lackluster games that it's the start of the series, but at the same time, like it's not really worth playing. I mean, obviously, it's worth at least playing both routes once because there are two routes, each have different bosses. But other than playing both routes, only the playing both route through both routes one time, not really much replay value in the game. So it's not really worth playing. Oh yeah, that's what we've got. Touhou 1 and E tier. Let's go ahead and move on to Touhou 2. It's gonna be interesting. I got a little bit more to say about it than I do Touhou 1. Let's go. Vengeful Ghost. Good song. This song's really good. Like, I know I said a few minutes ago the game's soundtrack's got nothing to really got nothing to write home about this set, but this song is really good. This song's good. I like this one. Alright, so Story of Eastern Wonderland, Touhou 2. Definitely a better game than Touhou 1. Still not amazing by any means, but it is the first game with the first Touhou game with a formula we are all familiar with. Well, those of us who have actually played the games at least. Because, damn sure people who claim to be Touhou fans most likely don't read the manga or play the games. So, yeah, again, those of us who have actually played the games and have, especially ones who have actually played the PC-98 games, no, this is not that good of a game. However, we do have to give props to it for being the first Touhou game with the formula we're all familiar with. And it's also where, it introduced Marissa, an absolute fan favorite. And my personal favorite over the main two, being Reimu and Marissa. Marissa, my favorite of the two, so gotta give it extra points for introducing Marissa. However, still not that good of a game, but it goes above highly responsive to prayers. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to Phantasmagoria of Dim Dream. This is a good one. Really gonna like. I really like Touhou 3. I really do. Alright, so Touhou 3, the first of three, as of right now, the first of three Phantasmagoria style games. While not my favorite of the three, it's still a really good game. And it was the start where it was where the series first started actually picking up and getting good. Great characters, which we'll, most of will unfortunately never see again, which sucks. But you know what? At least those who have actually played the game will remember the characters. But yeah, great music. My definitely top five Touhou soundtracks. Solid game overall. We could go ahead, put it in high B tier. Here's again. Not the best of the three Phantasmagoria style games, but it is when the series started to pick up. Great soundtrack. The characters are fantastic. Great designs. And the game's just overall really good. And now this is going to be the point where the games start getting really good. And of course, it starts with Lotus Land Story. I've got quite a bit to say about Lotus Land Story. Lotus Land Story, my second favorite Touhou game. Obviously, because I said it's my second favorite, you know damn well it's going in A tier. And the reason why it's going in A tier, it has my favorite soundtrack out of any Touhou game. It has. It introduces my second favorite character to the series, Yuka, as well as a two-way tie between my four. A two-way tie between my four favorite characters, Ellie and Mugetsu, who I prefer for more depends on my mood and the day. It's complicated, and Lotus Land Story is basically the game that shaped Touhou into what it is today. And because of that, I feel it deserves the high tier, A rank tier. And yeah, Lotus Land Story, definitely one of the best. I love the game. It's really good. If you haven't played it already, or if you haven't played it yet, play it. It's really good. Okay, so what can I say about Mystic Square that I haven't said a million times on this channel at this point? You know it's going to A tier. My favorite Touhou game ever. It's obviously going to A tier. I don't have anything to say because I have a lot to say. However, it is stuff I have said basically pretty much a million times on this channel at this point. My favorite Touhou game, I love it very much. One of my favorite games ever. It's going to A tier, no doubt. It deserves A tier. It really does. Ooh. This thing kind of hits. Holy fuck. There's the time. We have finally reached the Windows era games. And when I say Windows era, there's technically two or three different types of the Windows era. There's the classic Windows era, which ranges from Touhou 6 to 10, and you got the mid Windows era, which basically 11 to 15, and then modern Windows era, which is 16 to 20. But yeah, starting with the classic era, Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. Not a bad game, however, it's not as good as people say it is. Again, not a bad game, but there are other Windows games that are better than it. Like, this game, not exactly a beautiful game either. Like, yeah, it's the first Windows era game, but you have to remember, Perfect Cherry Blossom came out how many months after Embodiment of Scarlet Devil, and Perfect Cherry Blossom looked so much better. And gameplay, you could tell, was a rough transition from the PC 98 era to the Windows era. And it feels like it. So I am going to be again, I'm probably going to get hate for this, but I am going to be putting Embodiment of Scarlet Devil in C tier. Because it's one of those games that's meh. Not a bad game, but far from as good as people say it is. Again, controversial take, but hey, this is my tier list. I'm sure someone will put Mystic Square pretty low, and that's perfectly fine. I just don't really like Embodiment of Scarlet Devil all that much. But it barely manages to stay out of D tier. I wish it was a better game. I really do. It would probably been like high tier. Actually, it would probably been like low B tier. It's high C tier, but it could have been low B tier if it was just a bit better. But again, my take.
playing so far, this game, to be fair, this game does live up to all the dick sucking it gets. Hi, Letty. Speaking of dick sucking, I mean, I'm not gonna continue. I'm not gonna continue with that. You can if you've been on I'm watching for a long time, I'm sure you would know what I would be saying, but you know. If not, you can just let someone in the comments who's been around the channel for a while just tell you. Fuck! No fail bonus? No fail bonus? No bonus fail? Okay. I just get the bonus anyway, I guess. Cool. I'll take it. Soundtrack's beautiful. Oh, I am excited for stage 4 boss theme. My favorite song of the whole game. Of course, that's stage 4, so it's gonna be a bit. If I get there. Fuck. Letty's kicking my ass. Woo! Hey, Perfect Cherry Blossom. I already mentioned when I talked about Embodiment Scarlet Devil game, just so much better than Scarlet Devil than Touhou 6. And the way the game feels to play, the visuals, and especially the music. Holy shit, the music. It is absolutely incredible. Definitely one of my favorite soundtracks. And introduced a lot of fan favorite characters. And for that, it's going in A tier. Absolutely phenomenal game. I really like it. Really good game. Definitely worth a play. Worth a lot of plays, actually. It's a fantastic game. One of the best in the Windows era. Especially the classic Windows era. Really good. Really solid. Missia. I'm excited for Missia's theme. Second best theme in the game, by the way. Second best theme in the game. Missia's theme. Yep. Fuck! Here it is. I'm also glad I didn't die. Awesome. I was about to say I should be dead. Alright. Night blindness. Alright. One of the few characters that actually uses her ability in the fight. One of the few characters. God damn it. So close. So close to finishing. Imperishable Night is honestly one of those I don't really have too much experience with. Like, I've played it a few times. Quite honestly, I'm not that big of a fan of it. It's not a bad game, it's just what I've mentioned it before. It's one of those few that actually locks you out of stage 6 if you play on easy. No, Lotus Land Story did that Touhou 4. Even, and I know you're gonna say, well, you put Touhou 4 in A tier. That makes you a hypocrite. Let me finish. It locks you out of stage 6 if you play on easy. However, it is also a pretty difficult game on top of that. Like, there was a time I got locked out of stage 5 when playing on normal. I didn't even run out of continues or anything. Like, I just got locked out. I finished stage 4. Bad ending. Like, what? Okay. But yeah, again, I don't have much experience with it. I'm not a big fan. It's the first one in D tier. Not It's not amazing, but it's not bad, but it's just there's just much better games, honestly. I like its mechanic, but that's not enough to save it from the brutality the stages get later on in the game. And on top of being locked out of the final stage, if you play on easy, yeah, it's honestly one of those that I would say you might want to avoid. Again, another controversial take, but that's just how I feel about it. And it honestly could have done without being so fucking difficult, dude. I swear, it's awful. Because, ugh. And again, like, being locked out of the final stage, like, why? Which is something I forgot to mention with Embodiment Scarlet Devil. It does the same thing. It also locks you out of stage 6 if you play on easy. However, Touhou 6 is slightly more forgiving than Touhou 8 is, which is why Touhou 6 is ranked higher. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it. Let me know what you how you feel about it.
Yeah, Mr. Krabs!
I didn't care about it, but I was on to it. Also, I told everyone I was on to it. But, no.
Ain't no way! No, I'm having an
Are you okay over there? Like, I hear you having like a seizure.
Let's go!
So I'm talking to my brother.
Phantasmagoria Flower View, the best of the 3 Phantasmagoria style games. And there's only 3 of them. This is the second one, so I really love Touhou 9. Touhou 9, a phenomenal game. I'm pretty sure if you get it on Steam, you can play versus mode online with other people, which is something you couldn't do on the original release that I have. You can, unless you download like a third-party like program, then you were able to. But yeah, brought back a lot of fan favorite characters. It brought back Yuka. We got the playable Prism River sisters. It's the first time Racing was playable. And yeah, all in all, great game. The gameplay is real fun. The soundtrack is amazing, even though it basically just remixes a lot of songs from previous games. I mean, it's still really good, so I mean, can't complain too much. It's going in A tier. One of the best Touhou games. And well-deserved spot, too. Really good game, I recommend. It is one of the... I recommend this one, too. Very good game. Very solid. Though there might be some issues with the audio, but it's still playable otherwise. But again, do try it out if you haven't. Really good. Mountain of Faith. my favorite of the Windows era games for quite a bit of time. Still has my favorite roster of any Touhou game. So you know it's going in A tier. The game is absolutely beautiful. Soundtrack, really good. Of course. And the game just feels great to play. And also, if you play as Marissa with Shot Top B, you can obviously you saw you could cheese the game. No problems, really. So it's going in right here in between Perfect Cherry Blossom and Phantasmagoria Flower View. Mid A tier. Very good game. It's on Steam too, so get it. Really good. Really fun.
Alright, so with Touhou 1 through 10 set in the tier list, we have officially reached the halfway mark of the video. Yeah, we're only halfway through the video. And you want to know how much time I've been spending on this video? So far, just for this first half. Well, I started this video at 6 o'clock in the morning, Sunday, January 18th. 6 o'clock in the morning, and as of me recording this portion, it is almost 5 o'clock in the evening, January 18th. Yeah, I've been working on the video that long so far. Granted, I did take a nap for a few hours because again, I'm working hard. I deserved a nap, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take a nap. I'll feel better once I wake up. Then I'll get right back to work. And here we are. So, yeah, again, only halfway done. So if you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. I'm trying to reach 500 subs by the end of the year. It's my goal. Especially with, how much work I'm putting into this video. Subscribe. It helps. Ugh. But yeah, anyway. The first half of the video is done. From this point on, most of the footage for the Touhou games is going to be from the 1cc challenge because I have not played a vast majority of the games on the channel outside of that. So because of that, yeah, it's going to be mostly Touhou 1cc challenge footage. But yeah, there's going to be some that I use from old streams or something. When I get to Touhou 19, when I get to Touhou 18, 19, and 20, it'll be from streams and stuff. Well, VODs, so yeah. But 11 through 16, 11 through 17, yeah, it's going to be 1cc footage. But yeah, anyways, I've stalled long enough. Let's return to the main video, shall we?
This is what we're actually getting into the harder games now. We're actually getting into the harder games. Because this is when the games actually start to get hard. It's the ankle-biting spider. The ankle-biting spider. If you don't understand that joke, it's because it's an inside joke between me and my buddies on VR chat. Every time, whenever I play VR chat with them, I use the main avatar. I always say I'm gonna bite their ankles, and I crouch, then I lay down on the ground. Fuck. Don't even know how I got hit there, but okay. Yeah, we're not gonna last very long this game and the next in Touhou 12, unfortunately. Because like I said, this is when the games actually start to get difficult. I definitely moved more to the right. Alright. Subterranean Animism. One I have not played very much. I've played it about as many times as I've played Touhou 8. It's not that bad of a... It's not a bad game. However, it's kind of meh. Like, it feels fine to play. There's not, like, really any, like, special mechanic in the game. But, I mean, there is, but you can hardly notice it. It follows the exact same rule Touhou Mountain of Faith does, where you get infinite continues. However, if you lose all your lives on a stage, you start that stage from all over. So it follows Mountain of Faith in that regard. However, the game I feel is just is like a little chunk worse than Mountain of Faith, because Touhou 11 is pretty brutal. However, it does have my favorite final stage 6 boss theme in the series. But that's, unfortunately, that's still not enough to save it from C tier. It's just a bit too brutal to be higher than high C. It's not a bad game, but honestly, I would much rather play Mountain of Faith. But again, I need you all to remember, all of these games are worth playing at least once. No matter how good or bad you think they might be or whatever, they're worth playing at least once. So, yeah. Don't skip any of these. They're all worth playing if you're able to, but yeah, Touhou 11, not too great, but you know, it could be worse. So, gotta give it that at least. Yeah. You can probably imagine how this is gonna go. I almost fucking ran into that. I almost ran into that. I almost fucking died. Holy shit. I have no idea how this mechanic works. And this is the one where the bomb pieces and the car pieces actually start coming in. Oh, whoa! We're not going to get very far in this game, unfortunately, because, again, second hardest game in the series. Might tackle a fourth game. Well, yeah, a fourth game. Because we're only just this episode. So, I'll fuck the game over on stage 2. I game over on stage 1. Stage 1. What the fuck hit me that time? What hit me? This bullshit. God damn it. Okay, so Undefined Fantastic Object suffers from the exact same problems as Subterranean Animism. However, it does have a noticeable mechanic. And that's the UFO mechanic. You collect certain UFOs, and however many you get of a specific color, you have to get all of this same color, and you'll get like a little like power bonus. But if you get like, I think it's more than one of a different color, it just completely resets your little UFO meter on the bottom of the screen, which I'm not exactly sure how much it works entirely, but it does at least have a noticeable game mechanic that you can see, unlike Subterranean Animism. So for that reason, it's going higher than Subterranean Animism, purely because it's got a mechanic that you can actually notice. But again, still not. It's a hard as fuck game. Probably top 3 hardest games in the series. But yeah, at least it's got, a good mechanic. So gotta give it credit for that. Got demoted from his from stage 6 boss to stage 1 boss. Don't exactly know why, but I do remember someone getting upset and leaving the fandom purely because Yuko was demoted from a final stage 6 boss to stage 1 boss. And Yuko was a fandom, which I can somewhat understand, but at the same time, it's like, open battle ball things, like, why? And I remember people who I used to call friends, by the way, but no longer do, because they became terrible people. We're talking shit about them behind their back, making fun of themselves. Because of it. Wow. Like, that should have been my first clue that they were becoming terrible people, and that should have been my, never interact with them again. But stuff like that happens all the time. So I'm like, God bless it, I'll take it. I should have 100% followed my gut instincts and just never interacted with those people again. Because they try to ruin my life. I think 10 Desires has the worst mechanic in any Touhou game. Like, you get hit once, right? You don't die immediately, but you are locked out of your bombs, and after, I think it's 10 seconds, you die. Like, what? What's kind of the point? It's an absolutely confusing mechanic. Like, why? Why am I locked out of bombs? Why wouldn't me using a bomb be good for saving me? Like, doing that. Like, what? But I will say the one redeeming quality of 10 Desires, it gave us Sega Kaku. However, unfortunately, Sega is not enough to save the game from D tier. It's not that great a game. Sega isn't enough to save the game from D tier. I'm sorry. I love Sega. I really do, but she's not enough. She really isn't, which is sad. I wanted to like Touhou 13. I just didn't really like the mechanic for it. So it's just kind of like. Excuse me. Double dealing character. Significant improvement from the past 3 games. Not only in balance, but in pattern wise and music wise, which I didn't bring up too much for the past 3 games. Because while I have listened to Touhou 11 soundtrack on my own time, multiple times, the soundtracks to 12 and 13, I didn't really listen to. So, I didn't really have anything to say about the soundtracks there. But the soundtrack for 14, very good. I would say it's one of the best in the series. But yeah. Music wise, it's amazing. Pattern wise, it's great. Amazing. It's also more balanced than the past 3 games have been. And on top of that, the game's just overall much more fun to play. So, because of that, it's going in B tier, just right above Touhou 3. Real good game. Very solid. I love it. I like it. I apologize greatly for the length of that clip to showcase Touhou 15, but I feel it had to be that long. Just to show how difficult Touhou 15 is. It is the hardest game in the series. And the clip, it had to be the clown piece fight. It had to be the entire clown piece fight to show how difficult Touhou 15 is. And you're probably going to say, wait, you ranked Touhou 11 and 12 a bit lower than people would. You're probably going to rank Touhou 15 low because of how difficult it was. No, actually. Believe it or not, I am going to be placing it pretty high. And the reason for it, it's difficult, but it is a really fun game. So, difficult as it may be, the game is fucking amazing. The soundtrack is great. It's going high B tier. Right above Double Dealing Character. It's a really fucking good game. It's hard as fuck, but it is a really good game. It is one of the Windows games I recommend the most, purely because of that. But yeah, Touhou 15, pretty solid game. I enjoy it. Hidden Star in 4 Seasons is considered one of the worst Touhou games. I would say I have no idea why, but I know why. It's mostly the people saying, oh, Touhou 6 and 7 are the best Touhou games ever. It's because they were basically the start of the Touhou franchise, which is very clearly not true. And Touhou 6... I've already said my piece of Touhou 6. It's really not that great of a game. It's not bad, but it's not as good as people say it is. Like, it's average. So, yeah. It's basically just people saying Touhou 6 and 7 are the best Touhou games ever made. Or some of the best games ever made in general. Again, I did rank Touhou 7 in A tier, the highest tier. Because again, going through by Sonic Adventure 2, rating systems from A being the best to E being the worst. Hidden Star in 4 Seasons, not a bad game like people say it is. It's actually a really good game. Again, it's mostly people saying the older Touhou games are the only good ones. Anything past Touhou 12 is terrible. It's basically just people saying that, it's those people saying Touhou 16's bad. It's really not. But yeah. It's a good game, but I gotta put it just under Touhou 15. It has one of the best... It has one of my favorite cast of characters in the franchise. However, at the same time, I think Touhou 15 is just slightly better. So it's just under Touhou 15 by a small margin. Otherwise, yeah, pretty good game. Another one I can recommend. Really good. I like Namuno, my beloved. Of course, that's just my prediction. Could be before, could be after. Who knows? I love the music in this game. I really do. The music in this game is so good. Wait until we get to stage 4. Stage 4's theme. Woo. I mean, and again, obviously we're gonna try to survive as long as we can. Fuck. I'm gonna fail bonus here. Wily Beast and Weakest Creature, much like Touhou 16, people say is one of the worst ones. I don't know why they would say it's one of the worst ones. It's really not. And this might be a little biased because this was the first Touhou game I actually beat. I didn't 1cc it, but I did finish stage 6. So there's a little bias there, but well, kind of. But again, it's not really a bad game. It's a pretty solid game. It takes the UFO mechanic from Touhou 12 and makes it be spirit mechanic to where if you get a set amount of a certain beast spirit, you get a certain power up to your shots and your defense or whatever. So, or maybe even your bomb. So there's that, which I think is actually really fucking cool. And because of that, Wily Beast and Weakest Creature ranks an A tier along right above Mountain of Faith. Don't listen to what people say. Touhou 17 is a good game. I want you to keep in mind this is normal difficulty. This is normal difficulty. This is my third favorite character in this game. Nope, fuck it, we ball. I have not played this stage at all, so I have no idea what these patterns are. I kind of just cheated to get the ability card. And yeah, think of the time when I used the ability card and how much charge it has. Like, yeah, when I say the ability card, I was not ready for that. But yeah, when I said the ability card is broken, the one thing that balances it out is the fucking cooldown time it has. The cooldown time it has is the only thing that balances it out. Because it is, as you can tell, fucking ridiculous. Unconnected Marketeers, to no surprise, is in my top 5 Touhou games. So you know it's going in A rank. Duh. It's going in my top 5. And the reason why it's going in my top 5, there's a few. The music's amazing. I love the art. It's so much better. The patterns are fantastic. The characters, the roster is one of my favorites in any Touhou game, except Tsukasa. I do not care for Tsukasa. I can do without her, but everybody else, I fucking love. Sanyo especially is my favorite Touhou character overall. So her alone, her theme, her design, her patterns, literally, it's all fucking amazing. Like, and this was the first Touhou game I ever actually played, so it's personal bias, but Touhou 18, I'm actually going to put top 3. Yes, just barely over Perfect Cherry Blossom. And just under Lotus Land Story. Fucking fantastic game. Top 3. It deserves the spot. But next up, we gotta rank Touhou 19. But for the footage for Touhou 19, I'm gonna use from an old live stream from a couple years ago. So, a few months after the game came out when I got it. So, yeah. Gonna be old footage, but it's still footage nonetheless. Okay, so on first stream of All Living Ghost, if you haven't seen the final episode of the Touhou 1cc challenge, you would go watch it. You'll understand why it's being ranked so low, but long story short, the game feels nothing. The game is literally just a hybrid of the Phantasmagoria games and the usual Touhou formula, where instead of like the HP you would have in like Phantasmagoria of Dim Dream and Phantasmagoria of Flower View, you instead have a life system. You get hit once, you lose a shield, but if you get hit one again, you lose a life. You rinse and repeat until you lose or you win. You know. The controls, they added like a meter charge button was added. Like, why? Why not just give us why not just keep it the same to where you can charge up by holding the shoot key? Why do we need an extra key just to charge the meter up? Like, no. And again, in 3, like I said, it's basically just a hybrid of the Phantasmagoria games and the usual Touhou formula. So it basically follows the 6-stage structure instead of like 9 stages like Touhou 3 and Touhou 9 did. So unfortunately, and I'm not the only one who didn't really like this one very much. A lot of people didn't, so unfortunately. But you know what? It's still it's still a more fun game than these two, but it's still going in D tier. It's still going in D tier. And this means we have one more Touhou game to rank. One more game to rank. Fossilized Wonders. I'm excited to rank. There we go. Doing good now. Doing good. Look at that screen, Mike. Fuck! Okay, this is terrible. It's the final game to rank in the tier list. Again, mainline games only, and that's Fossilized Wonders. When I played the demo last year, you know, when the demo came on Steam, I was not a big fan of it. Like, it just felt off to play, but then when I got the full game, I played it a bit. I'm like, you know what? Maybe it's not so bad. I actually think I kind of like Fossilized Wonders. Don't get me wrong. No, it's not. It's not going to be A tier. Spoiler, it's going to be B tier. But again, like I said, it is a very moving from the demo to the full game. Like, I actually had played it a bit more. I think it's a really fun game. Mechanics very interesting. And honestly, it's just, believe it or not, it's actually one of the few Windows games I've actually played more of. Then, you know, I've played it more than I've played any of the Windows games in B tier. I think actually, no, I haven't played it more than I played Touhou 17. I think I have just about as much time in Touhou 20 as I do in 7. It may be 18. I think I have about as much time in Touhou 20 as I do those two as of right now. But yeah, again, all in all, it is a pretty solid game. And yeah, it's going in high B tier, just under Touhou 9. And with that, that is the all 20 mainline Touhou games ranked from A rank to E rank. Again, using the Sonic Adventure 2 system. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for how low Touhou 6 is. But again, it's really not that as great a game as people say it is. It's not bad, but it's just not that great. You can tell it was a rough transition from the PC 98 to the Windows era. I even tested the theory. I played Touhou 5. Felt great to play. I played Touhou 7. Felt amazing, great to play as well. And then I played Touhou 6 immediately after. I'm like, ugh. But yeah, again, this is the final tier list. Let me know what you think. Let me know what games on this tier list you want to see me play more of. Please don't make me play Touhou. Please don't make me play. I mean, I have to play Touhou 19. I have to do a playthrough. I have to do that. I've played through Touhou 3 and Touhou 9 all the way through each character's story at least once. I have to do the same with Touhou 19. So unfortunately, I am going to have to do that. But please don't make me play these these 5 so much. Please don't make me play these 5 so much. But yeah, again, let me know.
Okay, so with all 20 mainline Touhou games ranked in a tier list, the official mainline Touhou game tier list is finally complete. It took me 3 whole days to work on this video. I started this video 6 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning, on the 18th. It is Wednesday, January 21st, when it's up and finished. Oh my god. 3 whole days. Yeah, I've been working on that. I mean, again, like, I spent like 3 weeks working on one video. Making that the most work I've put into making a video ever. But still, 3 days, that's a pretty decent amount of time. But yeah, again, probably it's going to be controversial. But again, this is my tier list. You're very likely going to have a different one, but hey, it is what it is. But anyways, again, thank you for watching and being patient while I was working on this video. Tomorrow I will be starting my Touhou 19 playthrough. God help me, I am not ready to start that.